What up? This is Reg in the Zoo coming to you from Buffalo, New York.
Here we are again. It's episode 2.
No, episode 3. Well, yeah, episode 2, but it's our third one. The first one didn't come out.
Legalities, the kids, the old guy that was here. And
couple copyright issues and
stuff.
Yeah,
a couple girls that weren't old enough, you know. No, but seriously, I'm really, really excited to be doing this with you, bro. I really appreciate everything that you've done because I was actually telling my gal, you know, I have always wanted to do this sort of thing, and I don't know, I'm the type of person that will talk about it a lot and never actually see it through, so I'm pretty happy that you've been able to do all of this stuff.
Yeah, dude, I'm stoked that somebody else is as passionate about it as I am. But no, dude, I'm stoked. We got a good setup here. We got our headphones.
Yeah.
We're finally live.
The headphones actually, notably different. And I feel a little bit like that guy, the Will Ferrell character.
You sound pretty bassy coming through here. That's nice, dude.
Super bass.
Yeah, baby.
Super bass. No, but so, I mean, it's really exciting to be doing this, obviously, for us. So we want to try to not get lost in ourselves too much, but also talk to the viewers that don't exist yet.
Yes.
But in a sense,
they're out there somewhere.
Yeah, we figured we might as well probably introduce a little bit more about why we're doing this, because I feel like a lot of podcasts, if a podcaster doesn't already have notoriety or popular injected into popular culture, I feel like a lot of times it just doesn't get off the floor because it's just two fucking guys talking about bullshit, which is all we really are. But
yeah,
I think establishing for the viewer why we are here, and that is essentially because just to do it, just like we said on the first episode, if anybody listened, you know, it's just a concept of if we build it, maybe people will come. If
there you go.
Three
the
people
field
listen,
the field of dreams concept.
And if 3 people listen, that means like, I don't know, maybe we entertained somebody. Maybe we just made a difference in somebody's day.
Like I was telling you earlier, dude, I don't care if we get 2 listeners or 2,000 listeners or 2 million or whatever. As long as, you know, as long as we're having fun while we're doing it.
Honestly, yeah. You know? I haven't had this much fun since I was a little girl.
I know, dude. And literally all we're doing is we're talking into microphones.
Yeah, it's a little bit like being a teenager because it's like
it does. Like
I'm making movies at home.
I'm getting like that mentality, like where I get really passionate about something. Like you're getting excited for like I played the.
We're on the fucking air for Christ's sake.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. Yeah, by the way, out loud. We're finally live. We're on Spotify. Ooh. We just uploaded to YouTube today, first video.
Yep.
Reg in the Zoo at both.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, we're trying to get this off the ground and get going, so we don't want to, you know, sell ourselves short. I think we did pretty good.
I think so
we did
too.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
But we want to keep evolving, and we want to keep making it a little bit better and a little bit better. So any feedback that you have, feel free to let us know. We're going to try to, you know, not be too structured, but at least give you a little bit of a rundown of what we're going to get into or talk about because... You know, not everybody listens to podcasts at this stage.
It's not for everybody. When I first heard about podcasts, I'm like, well, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
But then you find
talk radio.
You find Joe Rogan's podcast, and all of a sudden it brings you into a whole world of just craziness.
A fucking black hole of thinking. Let's just think on the air
that's
live.
Exactly what it is, and it's just 2 people shooting the shit. And then that opened the door to me to a bunch of podcasts, and then the ones you're telling me about. You know,
Yeah, I mean, to be honest,
fun.
I think the first one I listened to was probably Chris D'Elia's Congratulations Pod, and I found it to be remarkably entertaining just because he's a comedian and he's so funny.
Yeah.
But his is like obviously more geared towards his own kind of concepts, and I still listen to it because he's fucking hilarious. He's one of a kind.
Dude, my favorite thing with him is being Topher on Workaholics, bro.
Topher.
Hi guys.
He played a pedophile 3 times, but literally went on his podcast because people started calling him out because he did that new show. What's it called? Us or something? It's a new show. I haven't watched it. I think it's called... It's basically based around a serial killer, and when I heard that, I was like, oh, cool, a serial killer that nobody can figure out is a serial killer and he acts normal. Oh, Dexter, fucking 10 years later. So, and
that
then
was
I saw...
Great show. That was a good show. My sister-in-law got me into that one.
my girl Rayleigh, she watched it the entire thing in like I don't know 6 weeks or something like that, like all of it.
That's crazy.
She really got into it.
I think I did that with Sons of Anarchy because I got into it in like the 5th season. And then to catch up, because all the episodes were coming out live, to catch up, I just binge watched it in like a week, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to move this just a little bit so I could stare into your eyes the way I want to, so you're not getting blocked.
I might need some help here, guys.
Oh, but, so anyways, that's actually an interesting point because one of the things about shows today is whether or not, with TV changing into streaming and things of that nature and all of these different options, paid for, subscription, free, ads, XYZ. What's interesting to me is like whether or not a show releases one kind of episode a week, traditionally, even if it's off television and it's a streaming, the amount of momentum that they can carry over a calendar year versus releasing every single episode all at once. Like I think Stranger Things, I only watched the first season, but that one being one that I know that they released it all at once. Yeah. And then everybody fucking watches it in one weekend and you're not relevant.
And then you got to wait a whole other year to see the other 10 episodes. You know what was really good is they do the same thing with Cobra Kai on YouTube. Dude, that show is awesome.
Is it really awesome?
I love that show, dude. That show is great. I don't know what it is. It's just they don't care about, like, to a certain extent, they don't care about being, like, politically correct. Like, you know, the main leader of Cobra Kai, he just doesn't, just some of the stuff he says to these kids.
He's still a savage.
Dude, he's cool. Like, the whole concept. I mean, have you
saw, well, yeah, I have not watched any of the new series, but I'm familiar with it, like, at least a little bit.
So it's pretty much like how he really wasn't the bad guy, and Daniel LaRusso was like the bad guy, like the
Wait, that's what they ended up making it?
Like it's kind of what it is. So
there was like fan theories for a long time.
So it's kind of it's kind of like that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
He's such a dick. Daniel LaRusso is an asshole.
I definitely got into a rabbit hole watching
trash. Have you ever seen those?
Yeah, dude, I was just watching those.
Yeah, it's kind of the same idea. Dude, like Zach Morris is trash. Yo, he really was an asshole.
I was gonna say he's.
Did you hear what our boss said, Mike?
No.
Mike?
Did you hear what our boss said?
Apparently, I just stepped into Ireland. But no, apparently Saved by the Bell is also going to have a reboot.
I did see that.
And apparently Zach Morris is going to play the governor of California.
Oh my God.
Like, come on. That's... Like, I get, like, making him sort of political.
He really never did anything after that show.
Who? Mark Paul Gosselaar?
Yeah, what he did...
Depends who you ask.
Wasn't he in, like, Dead Man on Campus or something?
Yes, he was trash back then. Zach Morris is trash! But, no, he was in that, and he was in a show. I didn't watch it.
Was he like a cop or something?
He did a lawyer show with the guy from Road Trip.
Yes, yeah, I totally remember that.
I don't remember what it's called.
Remember when that movie came out? Oh my God.
That is another good movie that we talked about, and I think for our younger listeners, I think we should continue to tell our younger listeners a couple of good movies that every boy should see. Like we talked about Old School and how our interns, like, they didn't even ever see Old School. And we're like, I remember various times of my life watching that movie growing up from age, like, I don't know, maybe 12 or 14 when it came out till now. And I can take a little bit different thing from each part, or I'm sorry, from each time I watch it as I get older. It changes a little bit. And I think that that's like what's really cool about watching or rewatching movies is I'll often if I go to see a movie in a theater and I really like it, I'll purposefully not watch it again for maybe 5 years. But some movies, The Shining is another example of this where I recently did a rewatch of that as a 30-year-old. And I found myself looking at the movie in a lot different lens, from the lens of Jack Nicholson as Jack Torrance, whereas I'm like a little bit older now, I've got a little bit more sense of like being a man and the struggles and like that cabin fever mentality, and he just starts fucking breaking, and like I connected so much more with it that I was almost like, wow, this is why this movie is so deep.
Well, you know the whole conspiracy about that movie, right?
What's that? There's a few. My dad actually, I've watched... Well, let me just give a little quick history. I want to hear this. But it is literally probably the movie I'm maybe Predator I've seen more because of my father.
Predator.
Predator and The Shining are probably my dad's 2 favorite movies. I would be hard pressed to think of anything other than those 2 that he would like more than those. But because of that,
ain't got time to bleed.
Yeah, ain't got time to bleed. I haven't. So many times I watched those movies as
That's
kids.
a great movie.
Like that was
that
like
really is a great
back
movie.
in the era where like you popped in a movie if it was fucking shitty out, sabers aren't on, it's winter. Like
I remember when I was a super young kid, we had T2. Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Oh, yeah.
We had the cheater box, so we had pay-per-view. Like, we can watch whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like 5 years
You had
old
the
watching that
cheater
movie.
box.
Yeah, dude, legit. But yeah, dude, the conspiracy about that.
Shining. I want to hear that.
So, have you ever heard the conspiracy that Stanley Kubrick... Or Staniel. Oh my
Staniel.
Staniel. First kid Staniel.
Staniel. Sounds
Stanley.
like something a bully would scream at me.
Stanley.
Not me. I would be probably the bully, but
Stanley Kubrick.
Staniel.
I
Sorry.
like that name.
I told myself I'd make more noise this episode.
No, that's
so
fine. That's
fucking
fine.
just
I like
keep
it.
rolling. Don't let me stop you.
So Stanley Kubrick, there's a theory about him that he filmed the moon landing.
Oh, like as if that was, yes, he was like the one that directed
because
it.
Because he did
produced it.
2001 A Space Odyssey, and they said that movie was pretty much research for the government on how to fake the moon landing.
Yeah.
This is what, and then there's like some, I'm not sure if the footage is real, but there's like an interview of him coming out and saying all this stuff. But in The Shining, if you watch, there's like little innuendos that are pointing to that, and he's kind of letting everybody know.
Easter eggs.
So
a little bit.
The kid's wearing an Apollo 11 or Apollo 13 sweater. Like that's like a hint towards it and everything. I mean, there's a lot, but I always thought that was a cool theory. I mean, you can get lost into a black hole on YouTube.
For sure.
Once you watch that.
Coming out of college in the YouTube era, when I got my first laptop, HP, it was like fucking $1,800. I think my dad got it for me for college because I moved off campus. And I'm not going to lie. I don't care that I had good parents. I'm going to talk openly about the opportunity that they provided for me because I'm grateful.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like a lot of people could say, like, oh, your dad bought it for you? So I don't fucking say it. Say whatever you want about me. I can't hear you out there, little listeners that don't exist yet.
We'll get you.
You're going to hate us.
We'll get you.
There's going to be people that hate us. And there's going to be people that like us and then connect with us. And they feel good about it. Because they're listening to us in their little part of their day that they just want to get away from all that fucking other shit.
You know what I'm wondering?
Because that's what this has become for us.
I'm wondering if people are going to get
Safe
annoyed
space.
with us vaping. I really don't care, by the way.
Well, it is relevant because, I am a smoker and I'm in the process of successfully quitting. I'm basically almost on my
That's killer. Dude.
I've been weaning off
That's
and
awesome.
puffing these things, and
I hate the bad rep that these got when it's only a specific brand or kind that was bad. I feel way better because I used to smoke. I was pack a day for a while.
Yeah,
dude,
I
could take in deeper breaths. I feel I got more energy.
I started singing in the car the other day,
really?
And I noticed how much better I sounded.
There you go. And how much longer you can hold out a note. It's crazy.
Oh, it was unbelievable. I was like, God damn. No wonder I feel like I can't sing anymore. Not that I ever really could that well.
Yeah,
I don't know. I probably sing very good. Now we got these microphones.
Now I'm using this, but it's like, I don't care, dude. This definitely can't be as bad as smoking. It's definitely probably not that healthy for you, but I do not care.
Yeah,
as long as I'm not smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, and I've also noted some mental thoughts. My anger needle seems to be a little bit less touchy. My patience level, my empathy levels. But that's all good because I'm not smoking. And I feel a lot better.
Yeah.
So that's another thing is everybody's out here trying to fucking hustle and trying to get better. And I think the time is now to be open and try out new things. That's why we're here, is to just try this out. One thing newsworthy I wanted to, obviously we can't not talk about, is our boy fucking Guillermo del Toro that we were touching on in the first episode. The Matrix is fucking real. Apparently, we fucking summoned him.
I always wondered if movies... I remember it was like the biggest thing when Bruce Almighty was being filmed here. Mm-hmm. Now it's like, who's coming next? Who's coming next? You know.
Well, they did that. Great. They did that. I don't know. They've got some like tax. Like people can come in here and film for super cheap.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we got numbers, but I know that there's some tax incentives too.
There's some great land out here to film on.
Well, I know that one thing that he said, Guillermo del Toro. I feel like I literally can't say it without an accent.
Guillermo del Toro. Okay?
Yeah. Like I can't say it like I'm not literally a cholo in fucking San Andreas.
No, that's
PS2. Maybe, yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Is that PS2?
I think so. San Andreas or Grand Theft Auto 3. Anyways, Guillermo del Toro being in Buffalo, I actually read that, you know, the architecture here, the like vintage Art Deco style.
I didn't know that until they started doing this.
We have City Hall. It's a pretty unique building. But yeah, because of all the preservation of Buffalo and, you know, some of the old things, I saw a couple little things. Obviously, the first thing that I saw that popped about Bradley Cooper being in Buffalo was like some dude took a picture with him out near the lake, kind of like down past Route 5. Some guy ran into him. I don't know what they were doing. It was funny because I was listening to our first one just to kind of, you know, get a little bit of a better idea and be a little bit more poignant in this one. And I actually forgot that we had said, I like went on a little mini tangent talking about like how they come into Buffalo. Little did we know they were coming to film. Like, they're literally shooting in Buffalo this weekend. So they're obviously busy. But we were joking about, like, well, what else are they going to do? They're going to go out to a small Buffalo restaurant and, like, fucking Susie Q's going to run up and try and get a picture. And,
no
like,
shortage of those
restaurants. They probably wouldn't mind, like, something like this. And, like, obviously, it's tough. We couldn't fit him in, you know.
Yeah, but maybe next time. We'll get him next time.
Yeah. And, you know, I don't know. I think they're only here filming for the weekend, but who knows? Maybe they'll be around for a little while. But that was the first thing I saw. Secondly, I know a girl who I used to work with, once again, at Olive Garden. Just, you know, some people might be ashamed to talk about Olive Garden, but I learned a lot about life in Olive Garden.
You know, dude, you do learn a lot about life working certain jobs, low-end jobs, or whatever, man. Like,
for sure, especially like restaurant or like hard work.
More knowledge that you can gain in a school, I'd say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Those
in different ways.
Yeah.
Different ways,
yeah,
for
totally,
sure. Yeah,
totally.
So then this girl that I worked with, she works at Osteria downtown. I don't think it matters if we say the name of that restaurant. I don't work there. So he was there. Bradley Cooper was there. And
fuck it.
Yeah, she said, all she said was something along the lines, she posted a picture, and it was just of a menu, and Del Toro and Cooper sat in for dinner, and they had just signed the menu, and they like talked about how good the food was. I think they had like some homemade raviolis or something that the original like grandmother, Nani or whatever, like comes in every Thursday and makes them. And so they tried it, and they wrote like kudos to the chef and kudos to Nani. They like signed it, and somebody said, you know, did you wait on him? And all she said was, no, I just enjoyed the view. And, like, her whole status was just like, ladies, just so you know, he is that good looking in person. And I was like...
He's a good actor, too. I like Bradley Cooper. I always like Bradley Cooper.
For sure. I mean, I think the first thing I remember Cooper in was Wedding Crashers as the asshole boyfriend.
So I remember him in Wet Hot American Summer?
He was in the original?
The original, I believe.
Really? Huh. We'll have to trace that back, because I remember watching it on Comedy Central way back, and like it had that weird comeback, and like
they did the
like
Netflix.
A reboot thing.
They released the series on
with
Netflix
like the same people, and they're all like 45.
It was like terrible.
Oh well, yeah.
And the thing is I liked
terrible.
a lot of those actors and actresses.
Well, yeah,
but that was just awful.
It was almost like intentionally awful.
But like, why even like? Oh my god!
Yeah, it was almost more.
Even like.
It seemed like more of like for them.
Paul Rudd was hilarious in it, though. I thought he was.
Is there anything
hilarious.
He's not funny in? I still am not sick of him.
Dude, oh my god! I can't remember if it was the movie or if it was that show. But it's like this kid was annoying the hell out of him or something when he's trying to hook up with one of the girls or whatever. And he just takes the kid. He's like, I'll be right back. And he takes the kid, and they're just driving. He's like driving full speed. He opens the door and just pushes the kid out of the van. It keeps going.
Oh,
like,
in Wet Hot American Summer.
Yeah, like, that was hilarious.
Yes.
I thought that was really funny.
Oh, for sure. He's got some really strong delivery.
Yeah, remember him in Clueless, dude? I had no idea who he was in Clueless.
Vaguely. He also, he's one of those guys that literally could be 180 because he doesn't age.
Yeah, he does look the same.
He looks otherworldly.
Yeah,
like,
he's a cool guy. I like him.
But yeah, it's kind of cool how those things kind of intersect, and those guys, those actors from Wet Hot American Summer when they were younger, it was almost like they came back and did it more for them to just kind of rekindle and do like a little reunion than for the people, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I watched that video of, I think we talked about it, but back when Bradley Cooper was super young and he wasn't even like a real actor yet, he was on that Inside the Actors Studio video with James Lipton, and he asked Sean Penn like a very astute question.
I still remember, I used to watch that show a lot.
Yeah.
And I still go into it on YouTube. I watched the Robin Williams one.
Oh, yeah. There's
the
still
Dave
great
Chappelle
content.
one is great.
Oh for sure.
Lots of good ones on there. Al Pacino did one.
Yeah. And that was almost like podcasting before
podcasting.
Yeah. It was just kind of those talk shows. They're like, even Conan has gotten a little, he's broken the mold off of his old kind of TV model.
Yeah, now he's just doing,
he's just
more
wearing
laid back,
tight, stupid jackets and sitting on fucking uncomfortable looking chairs, talking like, in like the half-hour episodes, I'm like, dude, okay, I get it, but you're on TV. And that
dude, that sucks too, because he's one of my favorite late night dudes, and now it's just.
Did you ever see Conan Without Borders?
Yeah, that's great.
That was funny.
I love all of Conan's.
I would watch him do that all day long.
I'll watch his remotes all day long.
Yeah.
I love when he does his remotes, dude. He did the one with Dave Franco. They go on Tinder or whatever, try to meet a girl, then he goes with that Billy Idol or whatever his name is.
Billie Eilish.
Yeah. No. The it's the one gay actor. He was on.
Oh yeah,
he was on
Parks. He's got the eye.
Yeah,
he's like
Billy
real
on
crazy.
The Street or something.
Yeah, dude. But that dude's funny.
They went on Grindr, did a remote doing that, but then he
does that cross-eye in Parks and Rec, doesn't he?
No,
is it Parks and Rec? He does the cross-eye. He does a fucking cross-eye in something, and he does it so good.
He just talks so loud, like on Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
And like, I wish I could do an impression of him, but I'll probably butcher it.
Yeah.
But I just love like when he keeps complaining. The bloopers for that are great too.
Yeah, for sure.
No, yeah, it's really cool that Bradley Cooper's here, and that episode that you're talking about, I definitely remember seeing that. I didn't see it live. I think I was watching like some random YouTube video because I get lost in black holes on it, like I always talk about. And it came up on one of those, like just a random fact about him. I mean, he was still in school when he was on that, right?
I think so. One thing I actually found out.
Was that his college or something?
Yeah, probably. But one thing I actually found out, I'd seen that video probably, I don't know, a couple years ago, and I always found it to be pretty interesting. But after he showed up in Buffalo, I started just Googling him, and the one thing I found out that was like super inspiring was that he was I don't know how heavy into drugs and alcohol he was, but all I know is that at 29 he said, fuck it, quit drugs and alcohol, and he basically said, like, I did it because I realized I would never reach my full potential.
Yeah.
And to me, I was a drinker, we could spare that for future episodes, but obviously I do want to utilize this platform to talk about some of those things and just how naturally unnatural it is to not drink in America. Like, it's so weird, but awesome. So I'm kind of like, I'm not going to push the narrative, but whenever I see shining, gleaming examples, I'm going to point them out on here because I think it's really, like, useful because nobody talks about not drinking. It's kind of funny. Like, I actually went on a Facebook. This is funny. I fucking went on a page. I'm a top fan on several pages, but just because I don't know how you become a top fan. I think just if you comment or share the page enough, you end up showing up, and then people can do it. Yes, and see, now people are going to hate us for vaping. After you just vaped into my eyes and into the fucking mic. Yeah. Like
I had to. I just wanted to see what it sounded like in these headphones.
But where was I? What was I just talking about? I don't even know. Oh, pushing the non-drinking narrative.
Nobody talks about it.
Bradley Cooper, really quickly, he talked about maximizing his potential. And that's some of the momentum that I've found since giving up drinking about within a year or two of 29. And it's just, I've found a lot of positive success just internally. So, again, we'll continue to talk about that. But to see that Bradley Cooper did that, it was just honestly like, I don't think I could be, well, maybe I could be Bradley Cooper. Like it was just sort of like, it gave me a little bit of faith, like, all right, he gave it up. I don't know what he was doing before, but it almost makes me feel like I could have a conversation with him.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like a weird human connection that dry drunks kind of have. And then the Google path that I went, similar to the black hole on YouTube, I just kind of kept clicking around, kind of the clicking, and I found out that Brad Pitt, who also just came out of a relationship with Angelina Jolie, who they had kids and everything, Hollywood, money, fucking still getting every role he wants, making fucking bank, have everything, and you still are struggling, dude. You got fucking Angelina Jolie, and you're still not happy. And he, like, I don't know what's going on with them, but I know that it all came out that he was struggling. And apparently Bradley Cooper was, like, very big into helping him. So I thought that was, like, once again, just gave me a little bit of faith, gave me a little bit of, I guess, drive or, spiritual kind of confidence that, like, doing shit like this and putting work down and putting messaging out and continuing to talk and think and use our potential. Because, I mean, that's, again, to point back to why I'm grateful for you for continuing to kind of set this stuff up in a way. I couldn't have done this without you. But in the same right, now I kind of owe it to you to do it the best that I can because you've fucking held up your side of it. So we're kind of, it's kind of like pushing ourselves to push into our own potential.
Yeah, I like thinking of it like that.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And dude, like I said, it's just getting a couple microphones, a camera.
Exactly. It's not that
fun.
difficult. And it's kind of like an experiment, We're kind of almost like trying to experiment what
can we get out of this other than just talking?
Yeah, and I think both of us have always been fascinated by the allure of celebrity and, looking up to the idols that we have. And, that's why I think we immediately connected, and probably why this kind of got off the ground floor, so to speak, was because all of those influences over time of different celebrities, whether they be in sport or film or music, I've always found like true passion behind studying what makes them that. And I haven't figured it out yet, but I think that this kind of like thing is interesting to basically be able to openly talk about that kind of like that, how that line is moving, and that line of becoming a celebrity it's dwindling. Celebrities are almost trying to act more like normal people. Normal people are almost already celebrities with social media now. That
it's kind of scary.
Yeah, that lens has shifted to where, Bradley Cooper comes into Buffalo, but here we are, we're doing work. So like, what's the difference? Money, prestige, opportunity, yes, but like, he's just doing work. He's just trying to do work. He's just trying to put out good work and good feels and good vibes and make people happy. So like, what's the fucking difference between him and I? And I'm not saying that he's not a fucking incredible, talented person, but he put his work into it. He puts his all into it. He puts a craft into it. He's dedicated his life to it. And it's like the podcast model, the ones that I listen to anyways, it's as if, whether it's a sports broadcaster on SportsCenter or Jason Segel from I Love You Man, who was on Bill Simmons' podcast I was just listening to on the way here.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall, my favorite movies.
Yeah. That's actually what I meant to say when I said I Love You Man, because I always get those two mixed up. Both great movies, though.
Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
You sound like you're from London. Dude,
yeah.
Me and my buddy always, that's like our favorite quote from that movie.
If somebody says London now, I kind of think that. I also think of Foggy London Town, because back when I was like 18 and I was first smoking weed like regularly, I still thought that like my landlords, who were like a 70 and a 90-year-old lady, were gonna like get worried or smell pot and like call the police, because I never had experience with the police before, so I was like extra careful about everything. And I remember like we would all go into the bathroom and like turn the fucking lights off and put candles in there and run the shower so that it would get super fucking steamy and foggy, but we would call it Foggy London Town and just get absolutely
Never
baked
did that.
in there.
That's cool, though.
Yeah. It was really cool, honestly. It was a nice little camaraderie because you're tight in there. There's only maybe 4 or 5 people, room for it. Well, in that bathroom.
Well, to get back to what you were saying about, like, you know, all of our heroes or whatever.
Yeah.
When you were showing me the pictures earlier today.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my God. I'm like, I was going to choose something like this.
Yeah.
Goodfellas, are you kidding me? Power
the new
Rangers
intro is
going
to be on here.
Yeah, we'll be.
So they'll have
setting
seen
that up.
the new intro by the time.
Yeah, by the time
happens.
this is up, the beginning intro is already
Inception.
going.
This is some Inception shit right now because
we're in a dream within a dream within a dream.
And Bradley Cooper's here for the fucking dream. Yeah. He's in the Matrix. The Matrix is real, and we're here to prove that the Matrix is real because we're actually making the Matrix.
Did you see
we're
the pictures?
Entering the Matrix.
The on-set photos of the new Matrix.
No.
Trinity and Neo on a motorcycle.
No, I didn't, but I
Looks
heard that they're
cool.
all coming back.
Looks pretty cool.
Honestly, I don't know if I've made it through the third.
Did you see the pictures for A Quiet Place 2 on the Grand Island Bridge?
Yes, I saw the opening shot trailer thing. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, and it's like once again, and this is actually really interesting. Jason Segel on that Bill Simmons interview, he said something about when he was around. Well, actually, I think it's recent because he's trying to kind of maybe make his career a little bit more serious and maybe step into the chair, so to speak, out of the acting light. I think he just did something new, but I'm not sure much about it. But he said something similar to the Cooper quote. He said, "I didn't want to be the guy at like 45 that's still saying like, I could have done Inception better, you know, and like." I have an older brother that was an actor, and he's a basketball coach now, and he fucking loves it. But I know that there's a little piece of him that wishes he was still acting, and I can remember him talking a lot about it growing up, which is how I got into it so much. Talking about how Nicholson didn't make it until he was like 38 to 40 or something around there, and it's like this almost is like a little bit of a last hurrah to like, all right. Let's fucking find out. It's not like we're on a movie set. It's not like but this media world is changing, and we're almost like trying to experiment to see how long it's going to take before we get a real celebrity on here. I think that's the challenge. Like how
definitely
quickly,
my challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I think that's the other side of like not being just 2 guys in a room. I think like we're kind of creating an identity.
That's what we got to do. That's definitely what we got to do
for sure. And I think we're trying to create this Reg in the Zoo. It's all fun and games in a way, but at the same time, we have a passion for this shit, and it would be really fucking cool to, like, once again, have Guillermo del Toro here and be able to ask them questions on the air.
I am the Zoo, by the way.
I am Reg.
The Reg.
Should I tell the story about how I got the nickname Reg, or should you tell the story about how you got the nickname Zoo? Why don't you tell your story first, because I talk a lot. I want to hear how you got the nickname Zulu.
Zulu is my nickname.
Short for the zoo. Zulu? No. Shaka Zulu?
Zoo is short for Zulu.
Yeah, let's hear it.
But my last
Inception.
name... Zulu just kind of goes along with my last name. My brother had the nickname before me. It's kind of funny. Our gym teachers used to just, used to say it. I kind of took it on because I'm the youngest in my family. So,
really?
Yeah. So anything...
How many brothers do you have?
I got 2 older brothers.
That's it?
I was supposed to have 3. One passed away before I was born.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
It
was way before I was born.
It just happened.
Hey, it's the platform to share everything with.
Yeah, man.
No, it was before I was born. But I remember my brother having it, and got into like 6th grade. This is the deep part of the story too. I don't think I told you all this.
Perfect.
Deep part of the story where it's like I was in 6th grade. They're like, "Do you guys have any?" The teachers were like, "Do you have any nicknames you want to be called?" I'm like, "Zulu." For sure, Zulu. Clearly. Like everybody calls my brother that.
Yeah.
But what it came to be is that I ended up becoming Zulu. Everybody used to call me Zulu, not my brother. They just kind of stopped calling him Zulu.
Yeah.
And then it became my name. And remember my one friend, Kyle. Kyle, if you're out there listening.
Fucking Kyle, man.
Kyle Taylor. Funny, one of the funniest kids I probably ever met. I don't know one person, at least from growing up, that has anything bad to say about him. He's just that one kid that everybody liked. Yeah. Nobody had a problem with. He made everybody laugh.
He's still alive?
No, yeah, he's still good. He's
people
good.
Like that, he just for had some reason, whenever people get talked about that highly, they're like dead.
No, he just had a kid. He's got a house. He actually lives on the street that I grew up on. He's with this girl. They got a kid and everything. Just
good
like
for them.
Cutest little kid. Yeah, looks just like him. But he used to call me Zoo. Hey Zoo. Hey Zoo. And I'm just like, you know what? Like
that'll work.
That's actually kind of cool. I like that. And then when we were talking about this, I'm like, dude, Reg in the Zoo? It's perfect.
For sure, yeah.
Because you're saying, why don't we just use nicknames or whatever? I'm like, dude, Reg in the Zoo.
Yeah.
And it just clicked. It's kind of like, I'm sure there's better names.
It rolls off the tongue.
It does. It rolls off the tongue so good. I
keep saying it. Like I said it to Mike the other day. I said something about it. Like,
I got to keep referring to you as Reg.
I know. It's a little bit different.
I might have to just start doing that around the office just to make a habit out of it.
I mean, my friends call me it. Typically, it would be if I was like partying, getting weird. That's kind of like the concept behind Reg.
Get over here, bro.
Yeah. You know, just getting weird. And like, the name was given to me, not necessarily given to me. I did kind of take it in a way. But I was out in Rochester, and I was going to a Bass Nectar show with a couple of my friends, it was a sick show.
What's the main song, Basshead or something by them?
Yeah, there's a couple.
That's like the main one I know.
Yeah, for sure. He kills it. He's definitely an artist. But we were going up there and we were staying with my cousin who was a little bit older than us. So if at the time we were probably like 22, she was probably like our age now, maybe 29, 30ish, 28. But so I'm hanging out with her like older friends, and they like party. Like they've been around the block. They know how to do this shit. And like, not gonna get into too many details as far as like party, but like there was shit going around. You know, you're in that like kind of like that super bad party mode, like where you're like, wow, I'm here. I'm at the party. I don't know who these people are, but you got to survive. And I think that's like, you know, that's that kind of like rock star wannabe ego that I chased personally for a while, that I've kind of given up and realized, you know, there's a different way to channel this energy. So like this shit. But so anyways, I'm in a basement. I just been talking to this guy upstairs, and then I just made my way down there, and there's two huge pit bulls, like steroids pit bulls.
Okay, one of those.
Those two pit bulls. So I get down to the basement. This guy, Ray, is down there. A couple other people. I'm shooting the shit, just, you know, getting ready for the night. Pre-gaming a little bit. Music's going. This house is like, it's like a ranch, but it's like got like fucking geodes and like rocks and minerals and things.
Okay.
Just all kinds of gems and powerful stones and crystals everywhere, because that's how they were. And they were super cool. Like, don't get me wrong, I had a great time that night. Which there's more stories that I could share later about that night. But anyways, the name Reg, this dude Ray was in the basement, and he was piecemealing some things together. I don't know what he was doing with his hands, but he was doing some things, getting his party favors ready. And I just said something like, yeah, well, this guy, mind you, this guy Ray, 45, landscaper, like odd jobs. And like, I was like 22. So the fact that this guy's even going, I'm like, Ray's going? Wait, Ray? That guy that's the like landscaper? Oh yeah. You should see Ray when he goes out. I'm like, all right. So now I'm in the basement with Ray. And I'm shooting shit, and then he's like, it's not Ray. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, bro. I thought your name was Ray. He's like, oh, it is, but not anymore. And he takes his fucking sunglasses, which, once again, they were like NASCAR Bret the Hitman Hart, like those kind. And he just takes his sunglasses and he puts them down on his face. He turns to me and he just goes, it's Yar. And I'm just like, whoa!
Ray backwards, okay.
Yeah. And I'm like, Yar? Jer? Reg? And he's like, Reg! Reg.
There you go.
And so that night was the night that Reg was born, and a lot of bad things happened after that, actually. But yeah, so like
we're making the best of it now, though.
Yes, this gives Reg a healthy space where he can
healthy environment.
He can talk.
Yes.
There's people surrounding him. He doesn't need to drink. He doesn't need to drug. He's here for a good time and a long time. So yeah, that's how Reg was born. But Reg is back. Reg is on the air now. Reg is back with a vengeance, and he's sober.
Yes.
So fuck it. Fuck it.
There you go.
You know? I think I gave away my real name, but whatever.
It's
Jer.
Jamiroquai.
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 Yeah. Yeah, I might name my kid that someday.
No, I think
Jamiroquai Mountain.
Pretty sure.
Oh, and there's my last name.
We gave my name away on the last one too, so now we're good.
Whatever.
But I think it's time to take our break here.
Yeah, we wanted to take a quick break and then we'll come back.
Here's a message from our sponsors.
Yeah, we don't have any sponsors yet.
We're gonna get some.
We're about to fucking go time machine right now. We got a little treat for you coming right up.
It's sometime in the future. The ultimate challenge. Crossfire. Crossfire. You can count the crossfire. Crossfire. You can count the crossfire. 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 You'll get caught up in it.
Crossfire!
I was thinking of something.
You get caught up in it,
and I couldn't think of it.
Yeah, because you were ready for me to scream again,
dude. Do you remember playing that game when you were a kid at all?
Did you have it? I did have it. Did you have it?
Yeah, I remember losing like all the little
metal balls.
Yeah, like the BBs or whatever they were.
Yeah, they were like thick BBs.
yeah, definitely lost those a lot, but that game was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was all right. It was pretty good. It was kind of like
you had to
really. I remember
you had to shoot this puck thing or whatever. Right?
I feel like there was a lot of slamming going on. Yeah, possibly.
It could have been.
It was either like, I don't know. Well, I think I've got it. We could play it.
Do you really?
It's at my parents'.
We can find it somewhere.
It's definitely my games like. I remember visually like where all my shit in the basement was always, and it's still there.
They had like that little fidget spinner thing that you'd have to shoot like the pucks. Remember that?
Yeah,
that was really cool.
Well, the whole concept, it was like a bowl. Like the balls would kind of like fall in there. You forget I had this. I forgot.
That's creepy. Oh my god! I
forgot.
Take my strong hand.
Yeah.
Take my strong hand.
Podcast also brought to you by that.
Take my strong hand.
Yeah.
What are these things? Where did you guys? Where did these even come from?
Baby hand. Personally.
By the way, shout out to Mike for letting us use the studio here.
Yeah, definitely.
Gotta give him a big shout out. Hey, buddy.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Huge shout out. And he gave me a lot of opportunity to be creative with the jobs that we do.
Yeah.
And obviously, it kind of ties in with this stuff. You know, when I first met him, I walked into the studio and I was sort of like, damn, this guy like is like 10 years ahead of me, but this is almost like what I would want if I worked for 10 years at this.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was like he did the legwork.
Exact reaction when I walked in
and it was like, well, I'm good here. And it's just like when you know that you have a good, just a good vibe that you don't mind walking into your job. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Yeah,
honestly.
I never feel uncomfortable except for the one time when I was leaning back on my chair and I just fell on my ass. Oh my god! You
busted your ass.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I'm good. Boom! No, I'm cool.
Well, it's ironic that you had that happen because we used to have that hoverboard and I would ride it around on phone calls constantly. Like if I was on a phone call, I would be on the hoverboard.
That's really cool. It's got a nice decent amount of space in here to do that.
Exactly, and a lot of fast floors. So I would be buzzing around and like, I sound nasally? I gotta blow my nose maybe.
I think it's all good. I think it's good.
Yeah, so there was on the hoverboard and yeah, so we used to ride the hoverboard around. Come on, Jer, get with it!
We're live, dude.
Fire that fucking pigskin! That's from Varsity Blues.
I remember that movie. It's one of my favorite movies from when I was a kid. And it was an MTV movie.
I didn't see it as a kid. I didn't see it till later.
What? Miss Davis?
I literally had a dude, Eric Hennings, shout out. I don't even think he goes by that name anymore. He has like a stage name too. He just had a new album come out actually. So I gotta peep that. We're gonna put it up right now. New album by Skate Cobain. And there it is. So you can check it out. I think it's on
up right at the
Bandcamp.
bottom there, yeah.
I bought it pre-order from my boy because he's my boy. I played football with him. Eric. He came from he was transferred into my high school like late senior year.
Do you remember from where?
He went to St. Joe's before and then he came in. But what the hell were we just talking about? Why did I bring him up?
You just wanted to give him a shout out there.
No, there was a reason, though, when he first came over there. Oh, well, I guess that's why this is a podcast. We'll have to check back.
Can we rewind that?
Yeah,
this is why we need Pasquale here.
Yeah, this is
to be
why we
writing
need a
this shit
producer.
down and then letting us know what we were just talking about.
Yeah, it's a part of your internship. I don't know what you're doing.
We were playing Crossfire and the commercial there, and now that's all I'm thinking
See, now,
about. That's all I'm thinking about is Crossfire.
Let's just call a spade right now. I have possible brain damage from football. like
we're
literally.
laughing like it's funny.
I mean,
totally
yeah, like
not.
this probably won't be this will not be the last time that Reg forgets what's going on.
I always like to think I have brain damage. My parents told me, even my brother told me when I was like 2 years old, he hit me in the face with a baseball bat. And I was just walking. I'm 2 years old, and I was walking. He was playing baseball or whatever, not like in Little League or anything, just in the backyard. I'm not sure if somebody was pitching to him. I was way too young, but they told me about it. And I guess he swung like full swing straight into my face. So I always think I probably have brain damage then from that. And plus I snowboard and I fall. Like I used to fall all the time, bounce my head off, an icy surface or wrap around a tree. So I've definitely...
The first concussion I think I got, it was either slipping on a basketball floor that my dad and this random guy told me not to run out on, which I did, at a full speed dribble.
That's usually how it happens.
They had just greased this court, and my dad would always show up super early because, he'd be getting up for rec ball, pickup games. He would always get there early. And he was teaching me lessons in reality at a young age of getting there early and being mentally prepared and shit like that. But yeah, so we got to the gym early, and the only person there so far is the guy that's kind of a janitor, and he's just finishing up sheening the floor with one of those fucking slow moving, just looks way too big of a machine but it cleans the floors. And he just kind of did a looked over from across the gym and just kind of said something along the lines of don't let him run out here, give it about 10-15 minutes. And my dad was sort of Jesus, what the fuck are the odds? Come early and they're cleaning the fucking floor right before, which in hindsight seems still why didn't anybody else fall? But it might have been a deal where half the floor, the other end of the gym was getting done, where I would have been shooting around or something. Well, either way, little stupid boyish Jeremy took off on a full speed dribble and whoop, right off the back of my skull. And my dad told me years later he thinks I got a concussion then.
But
He's
how old were you?
You turned ghastly white.
How old were you then when that happened?
Oh, I don't know. I was young, maybe 5 or 6.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And no, but yeah, so I had several concussions throughout my time playing football. 7 documented, which all my friends and family know that about me, but nobody here obviously does. But yeah, so it won't be the first time I forget shit. I forget shit all the time. I can remember vivid details of my life, but little things I'll get lost in little conversations. And obviously I am a marijuana user, recreational.
Ooh, I like that. That accent there.
Yeah, thanks. I do a lot of them. Yeah, I'm a supporter of marijuana because, I mean, to be frank, I had towards the end of my career, we'll say, I had 3 concussions in a calendar year. Literally in 12 months, 3 concussions. So I was so concerned with playing that it didn't fucking matter. I was just annoyed that I would get headaches. So I would take a bunch of ibuprofen just so I wouldn't get a headache in practice, which it was right around the time that concussion research and CT and all that shit was first starting. So I would take ibuprofen just to not get a headache.
On the table.
Yeah. And those that era right after that is probably the time, because I didn't have commitment or identity with football anymore, and it genuinely sucked. Like, you got 100 guys on a college football team, and you're friends with everybody. You're a quarterback, and then all of a sudden
it's my quarterback.
Yeah, that shit is real. Like, people fucking really feel that way, like, in the locker room. And I was in the process of really trying to establish being a leader and doing the right thing, but I was young, and the concussion thing was annoying, and struggling with partying, trying to be cool, but trying to do the right thing, but trying to be cool. Like, it's tough for an 18-year-old kid, and like I remember,
it's a tough age. It's a really tough age.
Yeah, I don't even know who the fuck I am. All I was
you
a
think
quarterback.
You know who
That's
you are.
all I wanted to ever be was a quarterback.
You think you know.
Yeah, and then here you are, Division III quarterback. Have fun with it. Not saying people shouldn't do it, but keep other options in mind, because it is fun. It is fucking the most fun thing I've ever done is play quarterback. Honestly, I don't think there's anything I've done since that is like appeased that just raw psycho mode. Like, it's a different world out there. Like, I'm sure we'll continue talking about it, but it's something that you can't really recreate in regular world or adult life. Like, that just psychosis on a football field that is like everybody out there is, if you're the quarterback, that is, every position's different. But like, when you're the quarterback, you're looking across every single play at 11 guys who want to fucking kill you. And so what do you do about that? You have to get the guys to protect you. You have to make sure your guy's going to be ready to catch the ball on time. You have to be, you have to know that your running back's going to know the right steps and the right play. Because if one guy fucks up, the play's dead, and bad shit happens. But to the layman, you get your fucking dick kicked into the dirt by fucking 5 guys.
I feel like the crowd's pretty.
The crowd,
there's a big
dude,
crowd. That's
Gladiator,
awesome.
Russell Crowe, Maximus Aurelius, like that.
Are you entertained?
That shit is like so real, bro. There is not that. That too is a reason why I try to get into shit like this. Is I do miss the crowd in a way. And, like, there's that scene in Gladiator where the older guy with the white hair that's, like, kind of his mentor that won his freedom, he's like, win the crowd, and you will win your freedom.
Do you know that he died during the making of that movie?
I think I remember that.
And parts of him are CG'd?
Really?
Yeah.
I think I remember that, but I wouldn't have been able to tell you.
So, obviously, I watch tons of YouTube, like a billion other people in the world, but there's a channel I follow called the Corridor Crew.
Okay.
And they have this
Corridor Crew.
It's really cool, actually. Just normal dudes, but they. So when Hollywood, this is before digital was really making it big. They're not much older than us, but they always talked about Hollywood is using all these ancient tools and equipment, like ancient cameras, old computers or whatever. And they were able to do the same effects. I'm probably butchering what they do, but they were able to do the same effects, and they didn't have any of that equipment.
Right.
They just do digital stuff, and it's great. They do awesome special effects, but they have this one show or one segment from their YouTube channel that's called VFX Artists React to Bad and Good CGI.
Okay.
And they tell you, how they did this scene, how they did this movie, if it was real, practical effects.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Like, they go over Titanic. They actually made a whole
watch Titanic.
They made a whole half of the boat. Like, a whole one side of the boat of Titanic.
Yeah.
Scaled down just a tiny, tiny bit.
Oh, yeah.
But it was crazy. Like,
well, did you ever go to Universal Studios or Islands of Adventure?
Never been to Universal. I went to Disney a couple years ago, but I never went to... I want to go to Universal.
I went to Islands of Adventure one time, about 12 years old. I lost my first cell phone that day. Somebody returned it. Yes.
Really?
Crazy, right?
So that happened to me at the ski resort.
Fell out of my basketball shorts.
Not to cut you off, the
LG flip phone.
I dropped my phone at the ski resort in the snow and somebody found it. And losing your phone there is like the worst thing that can happen because you're probably like never going to get it back. Yeah. I go to the ticket window. I'm like, did anybody return a phone? I dropped it down here. I probably
How old were you?
This is probably like 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So I was still pretty old, but it just
Yeah.
was bending down to strap into my board.
Oh, I'm sure.
And it just fell out of my pocket. That's
Strap
right
into
here.
my board. You're such a legit snowboarder, bro.
Dude, because
and you don't try.
No.
It's like, it's not artificial.
No,
When you said strap in my board, you like literally like
shred the nair, bro.
I mean, yeah.
There's some fresh pow on the jibs out in Tahoe,
fucking
bro.
shredding gnar, dog.
Dude, it's fun, especially out.
Reg and the Zoo sound like a surfer and a snowboarder.
Kinda, right?
I'm not really a surfer, but I probably could.
I definitely. I want to.
I held the fucking Maryvale up. There's my high school. Went to Cheektowaga, Maryvale. I don't know if it matters. This whole thing, like whatever.
Who cares?
Anyways,
right?
I held.
Look him up.
Yeah,
look him up.
We could always use the dolphin sound. Fuck, people know who I am. If they're in this region, bro, they know who I am. No, I'm just kidding. I'm Bradley Cooper, though. Reg. I'm the next Bradley Cooper. But I held the record at my middle school fitness center on the balance board. Fucking 18 minutes.
Doing on the balance board?
Remember the little thing? It would basically be like, as I spilled my water, it'd be like this. I
don't think we ever did that in my school.
It was in the fitness center. So, like, we had a little fitness center in, like, Mod 10 or, like, 10th period. You could go down and work out instead of being study hall. So I would go fuck around, like, with, you know, some athletes and the cool gym teacher. But it was, like, 40-minute period. And the record was, like, 8 minutes, dude. And I fucking crushed it. It was one of these things. Well, like, you'd be, like, kind of like this. Like, as I'm tech decking on the podcast. But like that.
Yeah, okay, I know what you mean.
I stood on that fucking thing like 12 years old for like 18 minutes. I bet you that record still stands.
It probably does.
So I could make a good surfer.
If anybody's listening that goes there, look for us.
Yeah.
Leave a message on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we should get a Twitter going. We got to get a Twitter going. What do we get? We got an Instagram going. I got to get a website going. Obviously, you can find the audio on basically almost all the things. We are in the process of getting on Apple and Google.
Yeah, there's they say it takes up to 2 weeks.
Yeah,
we just submitted it.
And shit.
But I mean,
they probably have to screen it for hate speech.
Well, you can get it on YouTube for free. Get it on YouTube for free.
Get it on fucking YouTube and watch
Spotify.
us.
Yeah, take a look at us. You can look at my goofy ass.
Yeah. I mean, I think we have enough room to have like a little screen up here.
Yeah, I think
this is probably
that's perfect, right?
I mean, if I wouldn't have brought the plant involved, we would have been good.
Maybe we can have it drop behind the plant a little bit.
Oh, fuck yeah, bro. That'd be dope.
Reg and the Zoo react to good and bad CGI.
Should we go into character for like 2 minutes? And I'll be Reg the surfer, and you'll be...
I'll be Zoo the freestyle rap, baby.
Well, no, you're a snowboarder, remember?
That's
can rap
me,
too.
Though. That's just
you can
me,
rap
then.
too, yeah.
I guess I'm in character all the time then, because that's just me.
Oh, wait, is that me? That's me.
This is me.
Oh.
This is us, dude.
So, did you ever see Lords of Dogtown?
Yeah.
Lords of Dogtown had a character in it, and it was Heath Ledger.
Yeah,
and he used to talk like this.
Come on, man.
And he was like a surfer, bro.
He had
was like, it was in the 70s, yes.
Dude, that's pretty good.
Thank you.
That's good, bro.
Rest in peace, Heath Ledger. Yeah, I mean, he's another one of my idols. Dude, to be honest with you.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. When I found out he got casted for that movie, I was one of the haters. I don't think anybody.
You didn't fuck with Heath Ledger when he got cast for Batman.
No, bro.
For real.
Because I mean,
what about Leto? That fucking skinny bitch.
Honestly, I was stoked when he got casted, but he was fucking awful. Awful. Are you like? Oh,
it made me fucking sick to my stomach, bro. Almost fucking hurled.
He was terrible at the Joker.
He really was.
He's got tattoos. He's got a grill. Like
he was so bad. Shit. Oh my god, that was
stupid. It was just stupid.
And the worst part of it was all the shit you read up front too. About him, like, he mailed, like, a used condom to someone. He mailed, like, a dead rat to someone. Yeah, like, he was trying to be like, dude, you're not, like, you're weird enough.
Yeah, dude.
You're already weird enough. You're already fucking a vampire. You've been the same age for the last 25 years. And you make music and sing like an angel. Yeah. You're beautiful. You're fucking, you played a lady in a movie. You won a fucking Oscar. Like, just give it up, man.
Dude, 30
Be
Seconds
you.
to Mars was
Who
legit.
is Jared Leto? Jared Leto.
You want to be on the cast? You want to be on the podcast?
Can we find out who you really are? Honestly, like we should call it out. I would love to have Jared Leto in.
He's like in his 40s.
I mean, he could come. That's the thing. These celebrities, we can't afford to come out to them, but
You
come to
bitches can
Buffalo.
come to us.
Buffalo's pretty cool,
We
especially
got
this
Niagara
summer.
Falls right around the corner.
It's always better in the summer, but
It is.
I mean, that's really only because of the endurance of living 8 months of non-summer.
Yeah.
And I think like a lot of people not from Buffalo would, like, they hear Buffalo and they're pretty much right about what they think. I mean, for the most part, like, I think we get a little bit of a bad rap for kind of like being a little bit dumber than we are. I think the city itself, especially right now, is a lot smarter than what people give it credit for. I think we get kind of like that mid-'90s Bills fan still is just, obviously.
I feel like that ruined us.
Yeah. I mean, it did in a way, but.
Look, we make it to the playoffs once a couple of years ago, and now people are making movies here.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do. Go to the playoffs in the NFL. Your city will turn around.
Tyrod Taylor turned this goddamn city around. I tell a lot of people that.
Did you think he would? Do you think he's capable of being a franchise QB?
I loved Tyrod, dude, but I mean, he's just not. I'm a 6-foot guy. I played quarterback. People don't understand how incredible it is for him to even be out there.
Well, did he play? He wasn't always a quarterback, right?
He was, and he always tried to remain. They tried to get him out of it, and he followed in Vic's footsteps at Virginia Tech. So a lot of people had his back because Vic made it, obviously, but when he got to Buffalo, a lot of people hated on him. And to be honest with you, I never thought he was ever gonna take us to the Super Bowl, but I loved his character. I loved how hard he worked. I loved the way that the team responded to him. He did a lot of good things around the community. You never heard him getting in trouble. So
yeah, he seems like a legit guy.
Exactly, and
he knew he wasn't gonna be with us anymore, and he still put it all out there.
Exactly, and yeah, did he struggle at times? Yeah, but at the same time,
it's not all him. He's not the only one out there.
People don't know how incredibly hard that position is. And at that level, I've never gotten above Division III, but I went to some camps and I saw some Division I talent. I went to several camps. One of the main, probably my biggest glimpse at Division I talent. I went to a combine at University of Pittsburgh as a junior, in high school, where basically that was for getting into college, but it was essentially the same kind of thing that you'd see on the NFL Combine they show on NFL Network nowadays. But, there was a lot of skill testing. Not skill testing, but there was a lot of physical testing, and those were never my strong points. I think the best 40 I ever ran was a 4.77, and my high school coach might have fucking...
I've been watching all the clips that have been coming up on Instagram now.
And, yeah, so
I don't know why it's so exciting to see how fast they're going to run a 40 yards, but... I don't know. It's just super exciting.
Yeah, and it gets a little repetitive. They do a pretty good job with that telecast, but I mean, yeah, it's fun to watch. But so so you do kind of your bench press, you do your 40, you do your 3-cone drill, you do your shuttle drill.
The vertical. Guy who did 44 reps at 225 or something, 225 44 times or something.
That's usually about ish the top.
That's usually what they get.
Yeah, the top.
Dude, that's the fact that they're doing that. That's holy shit.
Yeah, 225 is kind of baseline bench test.
But they're just doing it
And there's a science behind all that. There's a science behind technique to maximize and everything down to the 40, down to obviously sprinting has technical things, but that commitment. I have, like I said, I've found few things in life that have been as gratifying. So to put that much into it, so it becomes difficult for athletes. I think, especially non-professional, non-celebrity athletes that never necessarily cross that bridge again, but may have lived it at a high school scale or maybe even a Division III or a JUCO scale, where there is celebrity appeal, there is pride, there is work, incredible amount of work that's put in and drive that gets you to an achievement level. And there's been studies on, endorphins and all the shit behind why you should work out and stuff. But team sports taught me more about and created more of me than probably anything else. Even the idols, even the the celebrities, the movies. I think personally, a lot of athletes and sports generally really taught me a lot about life generally, who I am. And I know that like we've actually talked about how like you're not a huge sports fan, but I think that there's obvious parallels between action sports, especially with the evolution of them in our lifetime, to where that there's that same drive, there's that same like desire to be great. There is that same like prize at the end of the wheel, or not the wheel, but the tunnel, so to speak, where if you work hard enough, you might make it into the Olympics back in the day, or X Games, or do tour, or make a viral video. Success is obviously changing, and digital video, social media, the freedom of like instant information has changed so much that it's changing sports, it's changing music, it's changing movies, it's changing shows. So like I think it would be silly for us to not talk about that stuff, and like we're kind of like that last era of people who are going to remember a life before the internet. And I think that's just super weird to think about. Just super weird to think about that in like 10 years, there's going to be kids, like 10-year-old kids. I mean, there are 10-year-old kids right now that don't know a world without the internet.
Dude, I can't imagine my nephew.
That's their launching point.
I can't imagine my nephew without his video games playing online all the time. He would lose it. They did a study on him at UB.
Your cousin?
Yeah, not like just him. I think they did it on a bunch of kids. But,
really?
But they I don't know if there's like a diagnosis or anything. He's a great little kid, but it was just something that he's like addicted to video games.
We should have him on. That's the first interview.
He'd probably love it. He's so funny.
So I got a good one for you. Speaking of little kids, I was at my brother's playoff game. They did win, so congrats. I don't want to say his high school because he's got a really nice identity established for himself, and
we don't want to ruin it.
Yeah, I don't want to.
We're goofballs.
Yeah,
but no, I mean, I am a sports fan.
Oh yeah, and I didn't mean to degrade you in any way either.
It's mainly
if I made you sound like a fucking loser, I didn't mean
sports,
to. As the jock comes out and the what crowd did you run in? I would guess I was kind of thrust with the jocks, but I always tried to talk to as many people as I could, especially as I got older in high school.
So I kind of talked to everybody in school. I'm pretty sure everybody knew who I was. Not everybody liked me, but
yeah,
a lot of
definitely not everybody liked me.
I was definitely friends with every clique there was,
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because there really are cliques. There's those theater kids. There's those goth kids. At least there was. I haven't been in high school.
Who knows what it is now.
Yeah, I mean,
they're probably
I
all
really
the
talked
same.
to everybody. Like when I was younger, I was, more like the preppy kid, always wearing like Abercrombie or
that was
Gap or American Eagle or something.
I held out a long time. I held out till like 10th grade.
Once I got into high school,
I used to call my best friend a prep. I was like, dude, I ain't gonna be no fucking prep.
Zach Morris
is trash. Jeremy Mountain is trash.
You do that too good, dude.
So many people probably.
Zach Morris is trash. I wonder what got that guy going on that. I wonder what started him on doing that.
It's like a chick's voice singing it, I think.
He was like, no, it's definitely a dude. It's definitely.
Well, the guy voiceovers like the descriptions, but I think the actual like audio. Well, we could go to one real quick. Let's show one real quick.
Let's take a look here. Zach Morris is trash.
Yeah, you might as well pull that up. But yeah, obviously we want to have some purpose here to this podcast and provide some reason to listen other than just our own reasons for doing it. But we kind of want to make it into like an experiment. There it is.
Principal Belden calls the students into his office to pick a senior class community service project.
I just want to hear him say it.
I
don't think we can play the audio for more than however long.
Oh, yeah. That's true. They're great breakdowns, though. Great example of retextualization. I think that's the term. We'll look it up. But I remember learning in college about retextualization and just sort of like recycling content.
Trash.
Zach Morris is trash.
There it is.
I love the raps. Yeah, go check those out. Those are pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I used to watch my brother. Me and my brother used to share a room. My middle brother.
Okay.
The one is right above me. We're only a couple years apart. Me and him used to share a room together growing up. So we always watched a lot of the same, we had a TV in the room, so we always had to watch it. He was older than me, so he always got to choose or whatever. But, in the morning on, like, weekends or whatever, we'd always watch Saved by the Bell. And I don't even know how relevant it was back then, but we used to watch that. Wrestling.
WWF or WCW?
When it was WWF. And
Did you ever
we
get
actually used
into
to watch both.
WCW?
Oh, yeah,
WCW
dude.
was hot.
I was huge on the N.W.O, dude. They were awesome. Dude, N.W.O was huge. That changed wrestling. And then the WWF, WWE now.
They came in hard.
They started adopting that. But, like the Generation X and everything.
Dude,
Stone
DX was my shit.
Stone
X-Pac, bro? Fuck,
X-Pac.
we got to put X-Pac in this podcast
legit.
somehow.
He's got his own podcast.
Does he really?
I'm almost positive he's got his own podcast.
Sounds like he's got to come on ours.
Forgot his real name. Oh, I was getting really into
He's
that.
gotten in a lot of trouble, and he's struggled a lot with drugs and alcohol.
Yeah,
I think.
but
so it would make it even fucking cooler.
He's legit
because
now.
we're gonna break through this fucking glass wall of
He's
celebrity,
legit now.
and we're gonna just reach out and touch them and just talk to them like they're normal people because they deserve it.
I forgot. Oh, man, it's gonna bug me.
We gotta keep a list.
We have to be the 1, 2, 3 kid.
We have to keep a dream list. I'm sorry. Yes, he did do the 1, 2, 3 kid, and he would do the Bronco Buster.
No, he was the 1, 2, 3 kid.
Sorry,
that was his name
originally, and he would do the Bronco Buster.
Then he was 6-Pac.
X-Pac.
Then he became X-Pac.
Okay.
He was 6 because he was in the N.W.O.
You're checking me right now.
And then he went to WWE.
You're checking my X-Pac
joined
knowledge.
DX.
Yeah. Triple H.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I don't know why. I just remember all that stuff. I don't know anything about it.
He was so explosive.
But
X-Pac. He was just
cool.
so athletic.
He was one
and
of the high
explosive.
flyers, dude.
Yeah,
but then
dude.
the Hardy Boys came out and they put all those high flyers to shame.
The Hardy Boys, dude, and Lita.
Lita was sweet.
Lita, she was like smoke show, but she wasn't even that pretty.
Remember when China
yeah.
joined? It was just like, holy shit!
I used to watch
a lot. Chick?
I watched a lot of that shit with my mom. Honestly, she used to get really into it. Like we watched The Undertaker versus Mankind together in Hell in a Cell.
I love their back and forth and stuff.
Because that to
Mankind
me
was awesome.
personally, and I think was like the vintage wrestling originally. Like obviously that was you got to kind of put that. Recency bias is something they talk about in sports a lot. Is like the next, how today's game transfers to yesterday's game, and like everybody's like the next best GOAT, greatest of all time, and the best this, the best that. So recency bias is certainly a topic, but I think obviously the original wrestling, based on the fact that it was original, it gets the #1 era. Like back when like my older brother, your older brother were young, and like. That junkyard, I almost said Junkyard John, which is
Junkyard Dog?
Yeah. And there's a couple people who know who Junkyard John is. Let's save it. We got so much time to talk. It's like, I think we need to create like a running list of all the people that we talk about wanting to
get on here.
Yeah. And then eventually we're going to get one.
The list is endless.
The endless list of celebrities. So like, yeah, we'll start high.
Okay,
not literally, not with marijuana.
Marijuana.
Yeah. Smoking marijuana. Oh, I never actually
Get
finished
some
that
sound
point about marijuana. Going back. That's what I was going to say!
Yeah!
Oh, CTE, baby! I still got it. Short-term memory, baby.
Well, now we remember.
Want to know what's
what
really
it was
funny?
about.
I think I turned red and got a little embarrassed right there because I'm not used to this stuff being on camera. A little baby Reg getting all embarrassed.
That's
so,
hilarious.
dude.
I love how
The
we both
short-term memory loss.
I love how we both realized that too. That's
Before
great.
I forget again, I started using marijuana after football when I quit. I had those 3 concussions in a year, and I did genuinely start using it just from an experimental phase, but I started realizing, like, if I smoke pot, my head never starts to hurt. And, like, I don't know. I kept smoking
Makes you feel better.
And it's not like I'm, like, just chiefing constantly because if you did that, I don't know. Like, Matt Barnes, he's a former NBA player, and he's, like, so openly about supporting marijuana. Like, he'll smoke it right on his fucking Instagram and then go on ESPN later. I think he's kind of been holding back a little bit because he's getting a little more airtime. But anyways, it has helped with my headaches, and I think it helps with like my just I don't think I have like full on anxiety or like, PTSD or everyone has trauma. Everyone has shit that gets in their head. Everybody has like things that hold them back. And I do think that's the devil in a strange way. The older I get, it seems like whatever good is God, and whatever bad is the devil. And like the devil is not, there's so many different images you could think of the devil, but I just, not to get too creepy and religious or whatever, but like, it just keeps those dark thoughts. And Theo Von calls it like the dark arts. He always refers to dark arts. And like, that's when shit's like, when you're getting into it, kind of like that Yar story I was telling you. That was a little bit of dark arts, like that darkness. Like, I think talking about that on here would be fun because it's like real. And again, like, who knows who's listening right now, but if a couple people listen to what we think and it makes them think a little bit happier and think that there's a little bit more hope, cope.
Or anything.
Just be able to cope and just be able to like have a place to go in your brain where you can just relax and be yourself and be comfortable in your skin. And that's podcasting. That's why we're here. But I think it's hilarious because
that's podcasting.
The first time I brought up the thing about when I forgot what I was going to say, I don't know if the memory loss is from the concussions or the marijuana, but I like to think it's from the concussions. And then I forgot. And now here we are, and we're remembering on the air. And it's like, I don't think marijuana causes the memory loss. I think it was the concussions. So, like, chicken or the egg. But I think a lot of people would be like, keep smoking weed, man, then you'd be all fucking dumb, man. Like,
that sounded pretty crazy with these phones here.
Yeah, we could do a whole lot of voices on here.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Girlfriend.
I know you didn't get to go to Snuggleback, Virginia.
What?
Or wherever the fuck you were going.
Brokeback, Virginia.
Yeah, you were going to Snuggle Lips Mountain or wherever. Where were you going?
I was supposed to go to Smuggler's Notch.
Yeah.
Vermont.
Yeah. Up in Bernie land.
Brokeback, Virginia.
What's the matter, boy? You didn't want to become a socialist?
No, that's
too socialist for you.
That's a bummer that I didn't get.
You know what's funny is I was listening back to our pod for just get some notes and practice to make sure we keep improving, always stay improving. But I was thinking about we could have opened the episode by being like, yeah, so Matt, let's tell us about how you lost your job because of talking about your second job sob on Sunday and couldn't go to Vermont. But that's not what happened.
No,
that's not at all what happened.
Yeah, those aren't even related.
But that's the Matrix. Maybe this was more important.
No, that's what I'm thinking. Look at it. If
you put in,
if I was in Vermont, I wouldn't be doing this.
You
podcast.
did a nice job with this, dude. I
think
added in a little bit of flair. A little bit of flair. 62 pieces, actually.
We could probably yes.
Look, there's literal flair right here.
Was it a piece of?
It's Buffalogo.
Buffalogo, okay.
Little Buffalo cross promotion there. You didn't even know. Little did you know. There was a little subliminal message from a little company in Buffalo that you may have never heard of, and that's Buffalogo.
Tom Brady is a clown.
That's he actually, dude. Speaking of, here's my buddy Eric, and he and this kid Rob started that up, and they were just kind of making some cool ideas on some hand drawn T-shirts, and there's some really cool Bills shit out there. You can check them out on Instagram, but they ended up, that's similar to a Barstool design that they made of Antonio Brown, I think, because Barstool is owned by Patriots fans. I don't know if you knew that, but like the dude that does all the pizza reviews, you accidentally thought it was, what's his name? I'll look it up. But you thought it was him the other day. We were trying to think of somebody's name at work. But anyways.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, he does the pizza. Look it up. Just Google real quick, Barstool pizza. Dave Portnoy. That's his name.
Yeah, we were talking about the drummer from Dream Theater. And
Portnoy, when he came to Buffalo, yes, Dream Theater drummer is fucking terrific.
Mike Portnoy.
Yes, Mike Portnoy. Not to be confused with Barstool Sports owner and Patriots fan Dave Portnoy. So they actually, at the first, or one of the first home, might have been the Patriots home game, but they came up. Barstool still. Yeah, there's that CT again.
Barstool.
Unique, New York. Barstool Sports came up to Buffalo for a Bills game, and Portnoy was up here. He did a couple pizza reviews. They're pretty good. He's funny. He's funny as fuck. Like, he's such a character. Once again, celebrity. He's a celebrity now, but before he did Barstool, who was he? He was probably just a fucking guy that cracked jokes just like you and I.
We got the best pizza here, by the way.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Compared to anywhere.
Fuck yeah.
Anywhere.
And I put that challenge out, for sure. Anybody outside of Buffalo coming to have a slice.
Everywhere I traveled last year, I tried to get pizza from everywhere.
Trash.
Fucking
that
terrible.
pizza was trash.
Dude,
Portnoy actually came to Buffalo though, and they got him on camera. I could find the video, but he's basically he's in the at the Ralph out at New Air Field, whatever the fuck they call it.
New Air Field.
The Cap. It's the Ralph, dude. It's the Ralph.
Do you think we're due for a new stadium?
Yeah,
I feel like we're way overdue.
It's definitely a touchy subject. We'll save it.
Wouldn't it? I think it'd be cool if we just put a big roof over the top of it, a big canopy or something.
Yeah, a lot of people say if they could, but I don't think it's feasible
it's
because it's such an
old
structure.
It's
built on an Indian burial ground potentially, and also there is a cemetery still in place behind it.
That's why we lost the Super Bowls.
I have a book.
That's totally what it is.
I have a book. It was called it was a paperback book from a local writer, and I read it growing up. It was something my mom picked up somewhere at a craft show or something, but it was like Spirits of Western New York, and it had all these old kind of urban legends, but like Pigman's Road was on there, like all the ones that you've heard of. Oh my
God, Pigman's Road.
Yeah, all the ones you've heard of, but like one of them in there was talking about the Bills, and it was like a non-sports source. It was totally unrelated to the Bills, but it was like, it would be like these maybe 2-3 page summaries on them, and there was maybe 30 of them. Some of them more true or believable than others, some of them older, newer, but one of them in there, I'll never forget, was that it was Ralph Wilson Stadium was supposedly built on an Indian burial ground, and that was what it said in the book was the same thing that you said, like almost like a wry joke, like,
makes
could that
sense.
Be why?
Now it all makes sense.
So
they were originally going to build it in Lancaster.
I read another story about Buffalo, over in North Buffalo, around Elmwood, Delaware, Hurdle area. There was a mass excavation of bodies in like the 20s. You'll have to check my source. I can find it. We'll pull it up. But dude, they moved, because Buffalo was developing, they moved a bunch of shit. By shit, I mean bodies. Sorry to the dead that were moved. But there would be like old Indian burial grounds, and they would move them over to a different place, like if they started building. So that's what you would do back in the old days, was like you dig, you might find something. So they'd find shit, and then they'd have to get it out of there to build. So this area over in North Buffalo, which it's personal because my girlfriend grew up in a house over there, and she's got some really good stories about how haunted it was. But we'll have her on sometime to talk about it maybe. But
yeah, that girl I went on a date with, she was telling me some crazy story.
Nice.
And it seemed legit. You can just tell that she wasn't lying when she was saying it.
Right. You can always tell if someone's fucking lying or
so
not
she
about
definitely,
shit like that.
She
People
definitely
don't play
seemed
around.
Legit, yeah.
Like, why would you lie as an adult?
Yeah.
To tell a scary story. But 3 different places around other places of Buffalo were excavated. So 3 different places where bodies were exhumed from were all then put in this one big mass grave over in that North Buffalo, Elmwood, Hurdle area. And then when that got developed, they dug up all those and then disseminated them to various places. But probably along the way, obviously, a lot of bodies were pulled from rest, and there's probably a lot of dark arts going on over in that area.
Yeah, I believe that. I mean, who knows where they're at now?
Poltergeist,
that's kind of crazy. That's
scary,
dude. I didn't know they did that.
Poltergeist, is that the one where they find, like, fucking bones, like, coming up from, like...
Yeah, Craig T. Nelson, Coach.
Yeah.
It's in that movie.
It's in the garage! My brother and his high school girlfriend, I can remember them laughing about that part. It was, like, not Poltergeist 1, it might have been 2 or 3, but they're saying, like, it was really, really cheesy, and it's like a parking garage, and like a car's going crazy or something.
And like
somebody's like, "It's in the garage! It's in the garage!"
They jump into like a puddle or something. And it's weird.
Yeah, some dumb shit.
But yeah, no. In the first one, they used. I'm pretty sure. I thought Spielberg was a producer on that. I'm not sure. Anyway,
I think so.
They used real skeletons, real human skeletons for that movie. The one like when they're in that pool that was in the back or whatever.
Yeah, it starts coming up.
Those are real skeletons in that.
Damn.
Real skeletons are cheaper than prop ones.
So we could get a head. We could get a head in here.
Oh yeah, easily. Probably
Cheap.
super cheap. Probably.
Not cheaper than a prop though.
Let's check Amazon.
Yeah, we
That'd
could
be
check.
cool.
We
Have
could
like
check
a
Amazon.
crystal skull just chilling right there.
Yeah, that would be
That'd
cool.
be legit.
My brother got a crystal
Hashtag
skull.
crystal skull.
We'll save that story. Dan Aykroyd. Did you know Dan Aykroyd?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He came to Buffalo.
I got my brother a bottle of that for his wedding.
Did you?
Just like a groomsman or a gift for him. On
He
his
was
wedding day.
here. He came for like a signing, and my brother went.
So he likes Niagara Falls.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he really likes Niagara Falls. I mean, he grew up in Canada, like right over there.
I never knew that.
But yeah, he really likes Niagara Falls.
Um.
And he's really, really into aliens and stuff. So.
Yeah. Well, that's what. Yeah. That's why
let's
they
talk
ended up
about that
making
next
that.
time.
Yeah, for sure. We'll definitely talk about some more aliens next time. Probably just a little bit more of the same, and we're gonna keep trying to tighten it up a little bit. I think so. We
Yeah,
can
I think
keep
that's
improving.
a good idea.
Obviously, our set improved a little bit. I like the way it's set up. We've got a little bit more element going on, and we're gonna basically try to keep improving so we can keep making Reg in the Zoo more and more. I guess inspirational, maybe for people.
Yeah,
is
man.
The word.
I feel like we're just up here being ourselves, so I hope
Yeah, hopefully
if that's an
if it
inspiration.
inspires
to
one
somebody,
kid to
that's
go
great.
out and get a camera or, just try something new, fuck. Or if it inspires whatever, anything. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I mean, me and
As long as it's not murder or rape or fucking killing, which is the same as murder.
so me and Reg work together, so we get to talk about this a lot on our downtime if there is any while we're working. So
Yeah.
we're always constantly like getting excited about it and planning it out.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it's sharpened me up a little bit at work. It's kind of like it's got me a little bit, once again, the Bradley Cooper effect. We got to keep riding the momentum. We got to keep trying to maximize our potential, bro.
Well, like when I first started here, we were always saying, keep creating.
Yeah.
If you're doing nothing, you're just like wasting time.
If you ain't creating, you're just negating.
There you go.
And that is an original Reg fact.
I like that.
So yeah, all right. I think that's good. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
No, I think that's pretty much it, dude. For today, at least, we're gonna be back in a couple days doing another one.
Yeah, we're probably gonna do another one in a couple days. It'll be Sunday night, and it'll kind of be like the new start of the week. I guess this is kind of the end of the week.
End of the week.
We're second jobbers. We've got second jobs. We're gonna try and fit it in, and I think it's gonna keep working pretty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get out and do some filming this weekend since I'm not working the other one.
Yeah.
Get the
we
drone
gotta stay
out.
active. We gotta stay in Bradley Cooper mode.
Yeah, hopefully this weather holds out, and I like that Bradley Cooper mode.
I think we gotta say that.
Hashtag.
Yeah, episode
The Danza Slap.
2. Episode
This will
2.
be episode 2.
All right.
This is 2, I think.
So episode 2, the Bradley Cooper effect. Signing out.